Okay, good morning, students. So this is Dr. Mukul Jain. So we are studying
Good
our
morning.
subject, legal aspects of business. Or so in legal aspects of business, as you know, we are seeing the legal implications in the various domains of management, in the various domains of business. And otherwise, also this subject is very useful whether you become an entrepreneur tomorrow or whether you are in the position of a manager in an organization. So it will be helpful to you when you want to assert for your rights, for your individual rights, or for your organization's rights. So therefore, this is a very important subject. So we have been studying the law of contracts. We have studied the various essentials of the contracts. We have also studied various classifications of contracts. For example, there are explicit contracts, there are implicit implied contracts, express contracts. So continuing with that, so continuing with that, we will be talking about agreement vital points. So yes, we also studied with respect to enforceability. We studied what are valid contracts, what are void contracts, what are voidable contracts, and what are unenforceable contracts. We also studied what are express contracts and what are implied contracts. So express contracts, we were talking about it, that these are contracts which are expressed in spoken words or in written words, and implied contracts are those which may be expressed through gestures other than spoken and written. It may be by gestures or by the circumstances of the case, or just by mere logical conclusions. So it is inferred from the conduct of a person or the circumstances of a particular case. So we also talked about various examples of implied contracts. We gave examples of implied contracts, like when you board a bus, it's an implied contract. When you go in a self-service store, sometimes there is no words exchanged. You just pick up the item and take to the counter, and the contract is completed. You get the bill, you pay the price of the goods which you have bought. Similarly, I gave you the example of a porter on a railway platform, a coolie or a porter. He just picks up your luggage, doesn't say anything, and you let him pick up your luggage. So that means you have accepted his offer. So the contract has begun. And when he keeps your luggage in the compartment, his part of the contract is over and you are bound to pay him the money. Now, another example which is coming in my mind about implied contract. There was a case a couple of years back that a case went to the court. There was a case of a live-in relationship between, of course, a boy and a girl. Now, they were in a live-in relationship for the past 4 or 5 years. And after that, there was some friction between them, and they decided to live apart. In the meanwhile, the female sued the boy in the court of law that she should be given a maintenance. The male replied in the court that since it was not a marriage contract, marriage is a contract, since they were not in a marriage relationship, so there was no relationship of a husband and wife. So as a husband, he is not under any liability or not under any obligation to pay the maintenance. Now the court, what did the court rule out? What do you think in this contract? I want to know your views. You know, this is a real example. This case was published in the newspapers. So the lady, she asked for, and she also said that she was subjected to cruelty, like it happens in the marriage contract. Sometimes, you know, the wife can sue. So I'll just minimize it. I want to know your views about it. So this was a case wherein the woman.
Sir, I had a question about this case. If the girl and boy is living in a live-in relationship, for like
For five
5
5 years or so, yeah.
5 to 6 years, so that sir उसको सारे वो मिल जाते हैं, like she can go to the court also. अगर लड़का उसको छोड़ता है तो she can go to the court also. She can find a case also.
Okay.
And if
So she had went to the
she
court. So
get
the plea taken by the
get
woman was that
agreement,
since they are in this relationship for 5 6 years, and she was subjected to kind of cruelty, and therefore they have separated, and she has the right to have the maintenance from the male person. Now the male person said that since there was no relationship of husband and wife, so he's not bound to have this maintenance. He's not bound to give this maintenance, and he cannot be subjected to this charge of cruelty. So yes, you are right, Swati. What you are saying is that the court also ruled. They said probably there is no relationship of husband and wife, but from the conduct, when we see the last 5 6 years, you are claiming you have been living as a friends. You are calling it what is so called. The court used the word so called live-in relationship. It may be you may be living as a friend or whatever, but it is deemed to be a marriage relationships. You are living, you are having all kinds of relations. So it was also proved that they had other sexual relations also during that period. So the court ruled that it should be deemed as a marriage relationship. It is an implied contract. It may not be an express contract in the sense that they were not married in front of the society, or they were not married in a court of law. But however, their conduct shows that they are having the same relationship as that of a husband and wife. So therefore, there could be a charge of cruelty against the male also, and he is also supposed to pay the maintenance to the girl. So this was the ruling of the court. So thereafter, he treated this kind of a relationship as an implied contract. So that is why. So that is why we are talking about it. So if sometimes even in business also, there could be a person could be supplying certain materials, although there may not be any written contract, but sometimes because of the nature of the give and take, because of the nature of the offer and acceptance, it may be treated as an implied contract, and then both the parties are supposed to meet their obligations towards each other. So that is why we are writing it is inferred from the conduct of the person or the circumstances of a particular case. So this also we had talked about in our last lecture. What are illegal contracts and what are void contracts? Illegal contracts which are treated as non-legal by law. The acts which are forbidden by the law are called illegal contracts. Void contracts may not be forbidden by the law. Void contracts, why a contract becomes void? Because maybe you have done a contract with a minor. So you have done a contract with a minor. It's not an illegal thing that you have say the minor has sold his property. There was a minor boy. For example, in my society where I live, I had a friend. So his wife had died 3-4 years back. So he was a single person with 2 sons. So one day he also committed suicide. I'm talking about last year. He committed suicide. So he had 2 minor sons. The son was studying in 12th class, but he had not attained 18 years of age. And he had got 2 houses also. He had property. Now suppose if somebody deals with this boy and the boy sells the property, this agreement will be treated as void, because nobody can deal with a minor till the time he attains 18 years of age. So it was not an illegal agreement, but it became void because of the conditions which it is not meeting. Or suppose somebody gives a property without charging any money in free, so it will be considered as void because no consideration was there. So therefore we are saying the illegal agreements are narrow and small, and all illegal agreements will definitely be void, are void, and but all void agreements may not be illegal, may not necessarily be illegal. Then we also had talked about collateral. transactions, collateral or supplementary transactions. So we had also talked about the examples of these. Now, there is another classification of the contracts on the basis of execution of the contracts. So there are three types. One is executed contract, second is executory, and partly executed and partly executory contract. So as you are seeing from this slide, executed contract, we are saying a contract where both the parties have duly fulfilled their respective obligations in the contract. So for example, I give you my example. I have also done some consulting projects from time to time, intermittently. So I've done projects. For example, I did a project about 3 years back, 4 years back for E&Y, Ernest and Young. So I had to do certain tasks for them. There were some certain assignments. We had to make some contents, some other advisory in an advisory capacity. So we submitted our project to them. After that, they paid our fee. So the contract was ended. So it was an executed contract. So I will say that yes, which contracts you have executed? I will say I have done contract for E&Y. I have done contract for consultancy project for Tata Consultancy Services, for Tata Interactive Systems, so on and so forth. Executory contract. Currently, I am doing a contract, and I am saying it actually. Currently, I am doing a contract for another company called GMT. Now, this contract, it's underway. So a contract where both the parties have still to perform their respective obligations, or in which promises still remain to be executed. Now, I am working daily for up to 12 o'clock, 12:30, so I am doing their project also. So there's a lot of content. That is a content development project. I'm developing contents for them. They are making a learning app or online learning system. So I'm a subject matter expert. So I'm making for. So they have already made some content. So I am editing it. I am summarizing it, and I am also filtering the content for them. So that takes a lot of time. So it is executory. Neither they have I have completed. When I will complete it within 1 month, they will pay me. So that's come in the category of executory contract. Right. Now, third part, you can say partly executed and partly executory contract. So, for example, when I complete my part for JetPack, if I complete all my assignments, submit to them, then they will vet it. So, the person who is the departmental head or the person who is in charge of the learning and development, they will approve the content. Then they will give their approval to their higher authorities. The higher authority will give the approval to the accounts department, and the accounts department will then release my payment. So it will be said that I have executed my part, but they have not executed their part. So partly executed and partly executory means a contract where one party has fulfilled his or her obligation, while the other party has still to perform his or her obligation or its obligation if it is an organization. I think this is clear. This is simple. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Executed contract, executory contract. So executory contract which is still underway, which is still under the process. So you will say it is an executory contract. Partly executed, for example, when you sell goods on credit. So in most of the businesses, there are credit systems. So you have sold your goods, but your payment will come, say, after 1 month. So it will come in the category of partly executed and partly executory contract. Now, there is another classification of contract by which we call it as a unilateral contract and a bilateral contract. Unilateral and bilateral. Now, as the name indicates, what will be unilateral according to you? Just read it and just try to understand yourself about unilateral and bilateral. Now, let me, if you are giving an example, then okay, I'm just waiting. Otherwise, I'll give you an example. Well, See, whenever a company a contract, so for example, here we have written a contract wherein at the conclusion of the contract there is an obligation yet to be performed on the part of one party only. For example, when a company advertises a contest, a quiz, that yes, whosoever they complete this slogan, you have to write a slogan regarding our company, and whosoever slogan is found to be right, he will be given a award. Let's say 10,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees, or if a company is making a washing machine, so we'll give one washing machine free if we find the slogan, and the slogan should be of say 15 words maximum. So it's a unilateral contract because there is an offer by one party, and this offer is to the whole world. It's not a bilateral contract, that is, it's between, usually a contract between one party and another party, or between one and several parties. It may be between two parties, it may be between three parties. So we call it a bilateral contract, where there is an obligation on the part of both to do or to refrain from doing the particular thing. So these are similar to executory contracts. So bilateral contracts are, that specific, the contract is between A and B, or between A and B and C. Whereas unilateral contract is that where one party announces that whosoever do this work will get a particular gift, a particular amount. So in that respect, seriously also, and to make it interesting also, I would like to give one example from Ramayana. When King Janak announced that he wants to get Sita married, so there was a swambar which was organized. So in swambar they said that whosoever will break the dhanush will automatically become eligible to marry my daughter Sita. So it was a kind of a unilateral contract. So similarly, when you are working in a corporate company, you may have to design certain contests, certain quizzes, wherein you are offering the people to write a slogan. It could be anything. So it will form under the category of a unilateral contract. So therefore, essentials of the contract we have been talking about. There has to be an offer and there have to be an acceptance. So here, like in this case of unilateral contract, it is just an offer to the whole world. So acceptance means it will not be treated as an acceptance. Every person, say, is writing the slogan. Now, ultimately, the offer is also by the same company and acceptance of the slogan. So there will be a committee from that company. So this committee will decide that whose slogan they have selected finally. And the one whose slogan has been selected, he will be declared as the winner. So the same party is also offering and the same party is also accepting. So it becomes a unilateral contract. Fine. We have talked about consideration. Consideration is necessary. We have had also given you the example of quid pro quo. There is a word called quid pro quo. Just let me write it down for you people. We normally use, आप newspapers में ही पढ़ते होंगे, quid pro quo. Have you heard about this word? It's there on your screen. What is the meaning of quid pro quo? It's a Latin word.
It's like a barter system. If you give something, you take something.
Yes, correct. Very good. Quid pro quo. किसने बोला था ये? Who was speaking?
So Kamlesh.
Kamlesh. Good. See, quid pro quo, now it is used in negative sense nowadays because barter system is no more in vogue in our economic system. So as I was giving you the example in my first lecture about Haryana government at that time when Bhupinder Singh Hooda, Congress chief minister, was there, and he was accused by the opposition parties that he has allotted thousands of acres of land to Mr. Robert Vadera at throwaway prices, at a very cheap prices than the market rate. So it was alleged that it was a case of quid pro quo because he wanted to retain his chief ministership and he wanted to be in the good books of the party president. And Mr. Robert Vadera is the son-in-law, everybody knows, of the party president. So therefore, he wanted to oblige. So it is a matter of quid pro quo. So if a proper consideration is not there, or no consideration is not there, no consideration is there, then there could be a charge of quid pro quo. कुछ ना कुछ तो आपने लिया होगा. There might be some consideration, and that consideration may not be valid. That consideration may not have been illegal, right? So therefore, consideration has to be established. And I have also told you that in case of family property being passed on, the consideration of love and affection is also considered as valid consideration. But that love and affection has to be within the specific family relationships. And those family relationships have been specified clearly. Under the Hindu Succession Act, it is specified. Under the Muslim personal law, it is specified. Under the Christian law also, they are specified. It's not that you may have love and affection with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, and you can, or with your friend also. No, that is because law has no parameter. Law does not have any benchmark to decide कि आपका कितना जिगरी दोस्त है. Capacity to contract, once again, if you are dealing with a finance company, you must check whether it's a licensed company or not. It's licensed by RBI or not. If you are dealing with a stock broker, so सबसे पहले website पे देखिए whether this broker is registered with the stock exchange and is registered with SEBI. Go to SEBI website, see the name. So capacity to contract. Similarly, you cannot contract with a minor. You have to check the age. You cannot contract with an insolvent person. You cannot contract with a unsound mind person. So these are the things called capacity to contract. Consensus addendum, we had talked about. Both the parties should be of the same mind. They should arrive at a consensus. They should understand the contents of the contract in the same sense. They should be able to interpret in the same manner. The objective of the contract should be legalized. The contract should be capable of performance, or it should not be impossible to perform the contract. Even if all the things are being met in a contract, but if it is found that it is not possible to perform the contract, somebody says by magic, I am a magician, and by magic I will be able to produce so much of money for you. So again, it's not a logical argument in the eyes of the law. Intention to create legal relations, all formalities, all legal requirements have to be complied with. And we had also talked about it. The consent should be free and genuine consent, without any undue influence, without any force, without any coercion, etc. Agreement should not have been declared as void. There should be certainty and possibility of performance. Again, the same thing is coming. Then legal formalities, as we were saying earlier, also should be completed. Because in certain contracts, legal formalities are not required. In certain agreements, legal formalities are required. So it depends on agreement to agreement. It depends on the quantum of money which is involved. Okay, so this okay, so free consent, we have said free consent is said to happen when nothing of the following is there. Coercion is not there, when undue influence is not there, when fraud is not there, when misrepresentation is not there, when mistake is not there. So right now we have done with this. So right now I am going to talk about another aspect of our subject, which is insurance contract, insurance laws. Again, it's a very interesting topic. In some of the institutes, insurance and risk management is there as a full-fledged subject. Here I have included it as a chapter, but my endeavor would be to give you a fairly good idea about insurance contract. Because as a management student, you must have a fair idea about that. So, first of all, let me give you some idea about what is insurance per se. Okay, so you are able to see the slide, introduction to insurance, and then we will go to the insurance principles, legal principles of insurance. Yes, you are able to see the slide, introduction to insurance.
Yes, sir.
Good, good. So we will be talking first of all basics of insurance, purpose and need of insurance. What is insurance? सबसे पहले आप लोगों से ही पूछा जाए कि what do you think is insurance? Because insurance you may be hearing of insurance since your childhood. In your household also, you insure your vehicles. People insure their lives, etc. So what do you think is insurance? You have to define insurance. How will you define an insurance?
Sir, any legal formalities which give some kind of protection.
Yes, which gives some kind of protection. Yes, correct. Anybody else?
Sir, it is a protection from a financial loss which we might occur in future.
Okay, good. So who was speaking?
Sonal and Harshita.
Harshita.
Huh?
Sir,
Sonal and Harshita.
Acha. Actually, my thing is that.
And sir, one more is that someone is guaranteeing you for giving your service or goods.
It's not service or goods. Somebody guarantees to pay the monetary loss which you suffer. Actually, insurance is, as you know,
Minimize the loss.
as Sonal was saying earlier, that it is basically
is something when the desired thing in the contract is fulfilled. Means, if I talk about a life insurance, then it is mentioned in the contract that if a person dies, then a specific sum will be paid by the company. That is the compensation they are talking about. That is what insurance is.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very good, very good. So insurance is basically compensating the loss. Yes, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Actually, मेरे पास ना, whenever the slide is open, na, I can't
Sir,
see your names. So I'll just request you to please speak because I cannot recognize you by your voice. So please tell your names also. आपकी publicity भी होगी इसी बहाने और मेरे को भी थोड़े नाम पता चलेंगे आपके. हाँ, please.
Khitipati, sir. Khitipati.
Sorry.
Insurance is that agreement by which company or state undertaking provides the guarantee of compensation for specific loss, according to me.
Absolutely. But you are also right. So for a specific loss, so that is an important word. Not for any loss. So the loss which so there is always a contract between a person and an insurance company, that now insurance company says that if you suffer a particular loss, then I will compensate you for that economic loss. So in lieu of that, you have to pay me an amount. So it's like when you park your vehicle in the parking slot of a mall or a movie theater or a market complex. So what is happening? Basically, that is not insurance. The parking boy is not promising you that if your vehicle gets stolen over there, he will compensate you. But you just have a psychological assurance that somebody is there to look after your vehicle, and he issues you a ticket. He gives you a receipt. Somewhere the parking may be of 10 rupees or 20 rupees or 50 rupees, whatever. So you just have a solace in your mind that yes, somebody is there to look after my vehicle. So if your vehicle gets stolen, now you will ask that person whatever, but there is nothing is written in your receipt that he will compensate you in case. Yes, you will hold him responsible, whatever you will do. But In the insurance specifically, it's a contract wherein they take a charge from you, which is known as a premium, and they say that if your, say, vehicle is stolen or if your vehicle gets damaged due to an accident, and so we will pay you the repair charges, or we will pay you the complete value of your vehicle if your vehicle is stolen. So insurance is basically, first of all, there has to be an uncertain events in case of insurance. Then there has to be a peril and there has to be a risk. So basically you can say insurance is covering your risks. And how do you define a risk? Risk is a situation, it's an uncertain situation because future is uncertain. You do not know what will happen. So risk is a situation which puts a person maybe in a worse situation, and which one cannot predict with certainty that when it will happen. So to make it possible for insurance to operate, there has to be an uncertainty, there has to be a risk, and peril is also another word which is used in the insurance parlance. Peril is an event which may result in a loss. If you just happen to see your policy today itself, you just try to see any insurance policy of your vehicle, so it will be written that what perils are covered. Perils means any event, whether you have got it covered with accidents तो होती हैं covered, accidents, then voids, natural calamities, right? Natural calamities also, it will be like earthquake, like floods, like tempest, like tsunamis. And then another peril could be third party liability. In a vehicle, आपने अक्सर सुना होगा कि थर्ड पार्टी करा रहे हैं हम, थर्ड पार्टी लाइबिलिटी. Have you heard now? Most of you also would be driving vehicles. So whether a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, उसमें एक होता है comprehensive insurance, होता है एक third party insurance होता है. जानते हैं आप क्या होता है third party insurance in the case of vehicles?
Yes, sir.
Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Are
In
we
third party
connected?
insurance.
Disconnect तो नहीं हो गए? नहीं है. हाँ जी, yes. Third party insurance.
Sir, third party
Have you heard
insurance
about
में ये
it?
होता है कि yes, sir.
किसी ने नहीं सुना है क्या? Yes or no तो बोल दो यार.
Yes, sir. सुना है.
Hello. Third party insurance or liability insurance, has anybody heard about it? Swati is saying, chalo, let me ask you specifically, where are you?
Sir, Kittipati was speaking.
Am I audible to you, people?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Hello?
Yes, sir, audible. Yes, sir, you are audible.
Somebody speaking.
Yes, sir. Audible. Audible.
अरे सर को सुनाई नहीं दे रहा.
Yes, sir. अरे बोलो.
अरे यार सर को सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है.
अभिरंजन.
You are,
Sir, we are audible to you.
Maybe
Sir,
some
we are
network
audible
issue.
to you.
Raviranjan, you are right. सर को बोल एक बार डिस्कनेक्ट करके फिर से ये करें.
I am unable to hear you. Maybe there is some network issue maybe at my end. Let me check my connection.
Yes,
Here
sir.
though it is showing. Okay, reconnect please. Should I rejoin again?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I am audible to you, but I am not able to hear. So I am just connecting again.
हाँ बोल.
रविरंजन.
बोल.
रविरंजन.
अरे बोल ना.
भाई एक बात पूछना है.
पूछ.
यार तुम्हारे तरफ भिंडी कैसे केजी है? कुछ उसका प्रभाव पड़ा नहीं है. गुड मॉर्निंग सर. नाउ
Yes, sir. Now I am able to hear you. Now I am able to hear you. Earlier, I was not able to hear you people. So I was asking something. I was asking you, okay, third-party insurance in automobiles. Have you heard about that?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Yes, sir.
सर थर्ड पार्टी इंश्योरेंस में ये होता है कि मिनिमम कवरेज होता है, लाइक अगर आप कार का इंश्योरेंस करवा रहे हो तो अगर कहीं भी एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है तो फिर आप एक्सीडेंटली अगर कोई किसी का डेथ हो जाता है तो वो कवर नहीं होता है मैं भी। और जस्ट लाइक अगर कार का कवरेज होता है तो वो कवर नहीं होगा, अगर उसका एक्सीडेंटल प्राइस दिया जाएगा तो कार का कवर नहीं होगा, ये मिनिमम कवरेज
हाँ
होता है।
हाँ 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 हाँ, कौन बोल रहे थे ये, आपका नाम?
इतिपति सर।
हाँ, ओके, राइट राइट, बिल्कुल ठीक बताया आपने। सो थर्ड पार्टी इंश्योरेंस इज ऑल्सो नोन एज लाइबिलिटी इंश्योरेंस. In India, we have rule only one type of insurance compulsory in India, which is third party insurance. When you take your vehicle on the road, you must have 3 documents with you. Number 1 is your registration papers of your vehicle. Number 2, your driving license. Number 3, your insurance papers. And in insurance paper, third party liability is compulsory, because if a third person, third party means if a third person, unknown person to you, dies by accident by your vehicle, or gets injured, or somebody's property gets damaged, you ram your car into somebody's property, then who would be responsible to pay compensation to that family or to that person? Suppose you say, I do not have money. So it won't be a social justice in a country. To ensure that social justice should be there, you may definitely, genuinely a person may not have money to pay this person, but through his vehicle a person has died or a person has got grievously injured. So therefore government has made it compulsory not to take the vehicle on road unless and until a person has got a third party insurance or a liability insurance. So as a individual, I am liable for the lives of other people. So in this case, my insurance company will pay the compensation to the third person who may have died or who may have got grievously injured. So insurance companies normally fight the cases on behalf of their clients. And now before talking about insurance, so I wanted to set the background of insurance. So in India, we have got Motor Accidents Claims Tribunal, MACT. Motor Accidents Claim Tribunal, all these cases are fought in Motor Accidents Claim Tribunal court. So it's a special courts for road accident deaths. So the individuals, companies, they fight, and the compensation is decided in the court on the basis of the financial situation of the person who has died. Because financial compensation cannot be the same for all the people. If a person was a worker, he was just a daily wage laborer, so what will be his human life value? So that will be calculated. It is calculated on the basis of his present earnings or his earning capacity, on the basis that what he would have earned. Suppose this person was of 30 years of age, so he had still 35 years left for active earning. He would have earned for 30 years more. So the court will calculate the amount and then will decide the compensation and will ask the respective insurance company to pay this amount. Many times the insurance company may contest that, fight the case that no, this amount of compensation is not allowed. If a person is was working in a multinational company, was in a very good plush job, so his current income will be high. So depending on the financial status of a person, the compensation is decided in the court. So therefore, third party liability insurance is very essential to. That is the only insurance which is compulsory in our country. So therefore, coming back to our slide, so therefore peril is said to be any event which may result in a loss. So please speak somebody, yes or no. Let me see if you people are audible to me or not.
Yes, sir, you are
Yes,
audible to us.
yes.
Are we
Yes.
audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you people are also now audible. Yes. So peril, if you have seen this movie called Oh My God, Paresh Rawal's
Ye-
movie,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
a very
sir.
famous movie, you know. In Paresh Rawal's movie, oh my God, उन्होंने ये बोला था, the whole movie was set on the premise that there was an earthquake and only his shop got damaged by that earthquake. So he went to the insurance company to claim compensation for the damage to his shop. The court said that it is an act of God. So it is not covered, something like that. They said act of God है तो इसमें आपको नहीं मिलेगा और सिर्फ आप ही की shop damage हुई है. So he said, okay, I will sue the God. So the whole movie, was based on this premise that act of God is not covered. However, the movie actually, because the movie is made for masses, actually the real rule of insurance is that act of God is covered. Act of God is a kind of a peril. जब हम बोलते हैं ना इवेंट, जैसे अभी मैंने बोला नेचुरल कैलामिटीज, अर्थक्वेक, कैटास्ट्रॉफीज, एनी सुनामीज एक्सेट्रा, दे आर कवर्ड. उनको ये दिखाना चाहिए था मूवी में कि दैट ही हैज नॉट गॉट द कवर ऑफ द एक्ट ऑफ गॉड. वो कवर हो सकता है. उस मूवी में ऐसे दिखाया गया कि एक्ट ऑफ गॉड है तो वो कवर नहीं हो सकता. ये तो गॉड की वजह से हुआ है. इट्स नॉट, सो नोबडी एल्स इज रिस्पांसिबल. So you can ask the compensation for the god. So he sued the representatives of the god. So that was about the whole movie. So they made it interesting. But the technical fact is that अगर आपने let's say earthquake कवर नहीं कराया हुआ, आपने natural calamity act of god नहीं कवर कराया, तो आपको उसका क्लेम नहीं मिलेगा. तो आपको ये देना पड़ेगा आप कौन कौन से perils कवर कराना चाहते हैं. आप you want to cover fire also, do you want to cover floods also? So the peril is any event which may give rise to a loss. So for insurance, all these three things are essential. Uncertainty has to be there, risk has to be there, peril has to be there. So insurance, so the definition of insurance is that insurance is a mechanism that helps to reduce the effect of adverse situations. Like a person may become disabled, or the person may die, or loss of asset, etc. So it ensures the protection of assets against financial loss and against any risk. So purpose and need of insurance. For example, there was an accidental occurrence which we call it as one of the peril. So you will find the peril word in your insurance policy if you see it today. तो उसमें लिखा हुआ कौन कौन से पेरिल्स आपने कवर कराए हुए हैं. आपने रॉइड्स भी कवर कराया हुआ है क्या? थर्ड पार्टी लायबिलिटी तो एक पेरिल है, वो तो ऑटोमेटिकली कवर हो गई होगा. अनसर्टेनिटी, इट गिव्स राइज टू अनसर्टेनिटी. एक्सीडेंट, एनी टाइम एक्सीडेंट कैन हैपन, सो दिस इज एन अनसर्टेन इवेंट. नोबडी नोज दैट व्हेन एन एक्सीडेंट, एनी एक्सीडेंट कैन हैपन, व्हिच इट गिव्स राइज टू अ रिस्क. एंड सो रिस्क में भी अ पर्सन मे गेट इंजर्ड, and risk give rise to a loss. So we need a protection. So this protection is provided by the insurance.
Sir, slides are not visible.
अच्छा मैंने दोबारा स्टार्ट किया था तो I have to once again I think. Okay, once again I have to share my screen. Okay. Okay, so I was showing you this slide. Now it is visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I was showing this slide to you. Insurance is a mechanism that helps to reduce the effect of adverse situations like disability, death, loss of assets. So it ensures the protection of assets against financial loss and risk. And so purpose and need of insurance, that there may be an accident occurrence, which is a kind of a peril. Let's say any accident. So just we have shown one of the examples. There are hundreds of examples of perils which may give rise to uncertainty. Uncertainty gives rise to a risk. So let's say injury or death, and which may result in a loss. So we need a protection. So umbrella is shown. So we need an insurance. Here one thing is important, that insurance only covers the financial loss. If a person dies, insurance cannot replace the person. If your assets get stolen or damaged, insurance cannot bring the same asset to you. But insurance can give a commensurate amount so that you can replace that asset. But human life cannot be replaced. Non-human things can be replaced, but human life cannot be replaced. So insurance can only compensate in terms of monetary loss. Fine. So this is the basic concept of insurance. So purpose, so existence of perils. The perils means various events. It may be theft, it may be a dacoity, it may be an accident, it may be death, it may be an epidemic like a pandemic which is currently going on in the whole world. It gives rise to uncertainty. So it's an uncertain. Today is the most uncertain times we are living in. Even healthy people, where you remain fit, you are very conscious of your health, doesn't have any meaning today because of the virus, because of the pandemic. So it is the greatest peril. So accidents, it may be tsunamis, it could be a riot, it could be anything. So insurance is required when an uncertainty exists. So insurance does not protect the assets against perils. So this is what I was saying. Insurance cannot replace the asset. It cannot give you the exact asset. It only compensates the losses. And losses also, I can add to it, only compensates the monetary losses. It can only compensate the monetary losses owing to the occurrence. Fine. So how insurance works? So basically we have to understand how the insurance company is able to give you money. Let's say I have insured my car. My car is worth 10 lakh rupees and I pay a premium every year, let's say about 25,000, 30,000 rupees for a 10 lakh of car in the very first year. The insurance premium will come out to about 25 to 30,000 rupees. So in that case, I take a comprehensive insurance. To have comprehensive insurance of a vehicle is optional. Third party का insurance जो मैं बता रहा था, liability insurance वो compulsory है India में. That is compulsory. You cannot take out your car. But in case my car is damaged and I do not have a, insurance, doesn't matter. I will bear my insurance. So I will not be penalized for that. But how come that tomorrow my car is stolen? So by paying 25-30,000 rupees premium, the insurance company is bound to pay me 10 lakh, isn't it? So how from where this 10 lakh will come? So that is why we are saying insurance is a business of sharing. People who are exposed to the same risk come together and agree that if any one of them suffers a loss, the other will share that loss. So basically, insurance company is taking premium from a large number of people. Not everybody incurs a loss. So it is a pooling of funds actually. So it is based on probability that yes, only 5% of the people or 10% of the people will suffer a loss. So we have taken this amount as a premium. So this money is pooled now in a common pool and we will give this money as a claim. So it is a business of pooling of risk, or so they work on law of large numbers. So when large number of people pool their money, so there will be large amount of premium. The insurance cannot work among 5 people. 5 people will say कि चलो यार किसी का loss हो गया, so we will compensate for that. But then first of all, the premium amount will be very high. When it is spread over a large number of people, then individually I will have to shell out only 25,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees to insure a 10 lakh worth of car. Right? So the loss arising of a crash of a jumbo jet runs into several crores of rupees. So no single airline would be able to bear such a loss. But if 100 airlines companies make an insurance pool, the loss would be only few lakhs of rupees for each. So here we have said that what is insurance, need for insurance, and principles of insurance. So I'll just minimize the slide for the time being. So I'll just very quickly, I'll try to relate a small story to you to understand the concept of insurance before we go to the other laws of insurance. There was a village wherein there were 1,000 families, or you can say there were 1,000 houses. Okay, so one day the block development officer of that village visited that village, and he convened a meeting of the heads of the families of those villages. So normally in villages, the head of the families are male members. So there were 1,000 male members, head of the families. They were congregated. So there was a congregation, and there was a meeting by the block development officer and his other colleagues. So they wanted to give them a statistical data about their village. So the video, I hope I am audible to all. You're all hearing me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the video gave them a very startling statistics. He said that I have got statistics of your village for the past 50 years. And he said that your village is located near a forest. And in the forest, we frequently have got forest fires. So many times these forest fires, they also extend to your village, and your village has to grapple with this peril, with this problem of fires. And according to him, the data of the last 50 years said that on an average, out of 1,000 houses, 3 houses get burned every year. So it was an average of 3 years. He's not saying that every year 3 houses gets burnt. Maybe for 2-3 years there will be no fire in a village. In a particular year there will be a fire and there will be 10 houses burnt. In another year no houses got burnt. So over a period of 50 years, the average of 3 houses was coming. That 3 houses get burnt. So the video asked the villagers to do something for it. First of all, to have safety mechanisms in the village, to make the construction in such a manner that houses are not vulnerable to fire. They can resist the fire, which is coming from the forests nearby. Secondly, he also suggested the village to form a pool of funds. So he told them that, see, we have seen that in a village, if a house gets burnt, that family gets totally devastated. The family literally comes on the streets. And many times we have seen that the family also has to migrate to the nearby villages or to the cities. The children have to be taken out from the school. The family even struggles to get their 2 square meals per day because all their belongings get burnt in the fire. So he suggested the villagers to form a pool of funds between them. And he asked, and he also calculated that on an average, what will be the cost of the house in a village. So they estimated, some were kacha houses, some were small houses, maybe pakka houses also. But he said that yet average cost of construction of the house comes out to be, sometimes there will be a total damage of the house, sometimes the house will be partially burnt. So he calculated, he said that, okay, on an average 2 lakh rupees may be required to rebuild the house or to repair the house in case of a fire. So now he said that there are 1,000 houses, and but he said that 1,000 houses will not be burnt altogether. The average says 3 houses may get burnt. So if 3 houses get burnt every year and 2 lakh rupees are required per house, so 3 to the 6, so that means 6 lakh rupees is required. You must have at least a pool of 6 lakh rupees, so that if 1 or 2 houses get burnt partially or something like that, you can pay, compensate that from that fund. So villagers also elected one of their head. So he asked, then after the video had gone, So one of the villager who was the senior most person in that village, he asked all the members to contribute. So he said 3 houses on an average multiply by 2 lakh per house. So we need 6 lakh rupees. So if we divide this 6 lakh rupees among 1000 people, so how much it comes? So 6 lakh divided by 1000 houses. So per house it will be 600 rupees per house. So he appealed to all his villagers, all his fellow villagers, that okay, let us, each house at the village level will contribute 600 rupees every year, which is a very small amount, he said. And so we will have a pool of 6 lakh rupees. So if unfortunately after the year, if somebody's house gets damaged, we will pay say 2 lakh or 1 lakh rupees out of that pool of funds. Right? So the same concept is followed by the insurance company. That it is basically pooling of funds. So basically in insurance, what happens, a large number of people basically are sharing the loss of a few people who may be expected to incur the loss. But we do not know which will be those. So the village head said, we do not know which will be those 3 people. It can be myself also, it can be you also, it can be this person also. So let us pool up this money. Now, I'll just take you a step further. Now these villagers, all of them, let's say they agreed with it. They all contributed 600 rupees per house. And so they had a pool of 6 lakh rupees. But next year, what is the guarantee that 3 houses will get burned? It was an average of last 50 years. Let us say next year, 7 houses got burned. So now they have promised that they will give you 2 lakh rupees to each house. Now they have got only 6 lakh rupees in their pool. So they cannot say that we will give you just 1 lakh rupees or less than 1 lakh rupees. Number one, this problem will come. Secondly, if God forbids, if there is such a huge fire and say 50 houses get burned out of, or say 500 houses get burned out of 1000 houses. Now what you will give? Instead, you have collected 600 per house. So you have got, you will be able to give only 1200 rupees per house if 500 houses get burned. So that defeats the very purpose of insurance. So therefore, insurance cannot work in a small pool. Therefore, that is why in my slide we were showing that law of large numbers are required for insurance. And there has to be an organization which has already got in this small example also, you are insuring 1000 houses are being insured and you are promising them that 2 lakh rupees will be given. So 2 lakh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 multiplied by, so I'll just open this. So basically you are saying that you are promising that we will give you 2 lakh rupees. And if you are multiplying it by 1000 houses. Okay. So this is equal to, so here you are saying you are promising them, rupees 2 lakh per house into 1000 houses. So what is the liability you are taking on your head? The village head is taking. So 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So basically, one is taking a liability of 20 crore rupees on its head. So you have just accumulated, the village has just accumulated 6 lakh rupees in their pool, whereas the liability is 20 crores. Tomorrow, what happens if the whole village gets engulfed in fire? So they will not have 20 crore rupees. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, unless and until a person has got 20 crore in his pocket, he cannot say that, yes, I promise to pay you 2 lakh rupees per house if your house gets damaged. So therefore, you need insurance companies. So to get a license of the insurance company, they must have a liquid fund of 100 crore rupees. They have to show in their balance, and this 100 crore has to be maintained at all times. Then you are eligible to apply for to get a license of an insurance company with the regulator body IRDA. That is the first condition. So it is a sharing of loss. So first of all, you will. So it is based on business that yes, a lot of premium will be collected, and out of that, the claim probability will be say 5%, 3%, and on that basis, we will be paying the claim. Sometimes if there is a huge loss, they may incur a loss. The insurance company itself may incur a loss. They will have to use their own funds to pay the claim. So therefore, it may not be possible in a small group. We make that okay. We are pooling our funds, so it will be a kind of an insurance. So therefore, you need such organizations. So therefore, insurance is there in worldwide. Okay, we'll come to this slide later. I'll just want to open another slide. Insurance characteristics, and then we will come to the laws of insurance. So now characteristics of insurance. You are able to see the slide, I hope.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now it is a more technical meaning of insurance. So insurance is the pooling of unforeseen and uncertain losses by transfer of such risk to the insurers. So first of all, it's a pooling of losses. Which losses? They should be unforeseen and uncertain. Losses which are very sure to happen, they will not be insured. For example, if a person is already in an ICU, he's in a critical situation, and if you apply for this person to take an health insurance or a life insurance, insurance company will refuse. They will say, it is not an uncertain thing, it is more towards certainty. Or if there is a dilapidated building and you go for insurance, the insurance people will come and inspect the building. If they say, it is in a very dilapidated stage, even if there is a small rain, the building will collapse. They will not insure it. So the loss has to be uncertain, unforeseen and uncertain event. By transfer of such risk, we transfer these risks to the insurance company, who agree to what? Who agree to cover financial losses of insured people. Number two, they provide monetary benefits on the occurrence of that event. Only when that event occurs, they will pay you the money. Number third, they are rendering their services connected to that risk, basically. So basic characteristic of insurance, number one, there has to be a pooling of loss. A large number of people are pooling in terms of premium. So we can incur a loss. So I can incur a loss of 25,000 for my car, which is worth 10 lakh rupees. In case my car gets stolen, or in case there is a severe accident, then at least wherein the repair cost maybe 2 lakh, 3 lakh. So at least I will get 2-3 lakhs. So I am ready to shell out 20,000-25,000 rupees to pay the premium. So I am ready to bear a small loss in anticipation of a larger loss. So therefore pooling of losses. Then basic characteristic is that payment of sudden loss and unforeseen loss. Like life insurance, there may be a sudden death, there may be a sudden heart attack, or there may be an accident. Suddenly a person dies. Unforeseen, which you cannot anticipate. So it is a mechanism of risk transfer. So always remember that insurance is a mechanism of risk transfer. And it covers the actual loss. We will talk about it in detail also. Actual loss means jitna aapka loss hua hai, it will be given. If your car meets with an accident, your car insured value was 10 lakh rupees. It doesn't mean that you inform them, yes, my car has met with an accident, they send you a 10 lakh check. No. They will ask you to take your car to the workshop. In the workshop owner will make an estimate of the damages and will give the estimate of the repair cost. कौन सा part replace होगा, which part will be repaired. So based on that, the insurance company will send its surveyor and loss assessor at the site, and he will assess the actual damages. Sometimes you may overstate your loss, but he will cut down. He will say, no, this thing I will not replace. I will allow for the repair of this item. So that is called cover the actual loss. Now, what do you mean by pooling of losses? This is what I explained. Pooling is the spreading of losses incurred by the few people or few organizations over the entire group, so that in the process, average loss is substituted for actual loss. So insurance company just calculates at the year end or at the quarter end that what is the average loss, what is the average claims we had to pay. That is why, insurance companies tries to have as many customers as they can, because in the pooling, if the large number is there, the premiums will be high. So they will have high revenues, and so it will be easier for them to pay claims. So it involves the grouping of large number of exposure units. Wherever you are not understanding, please, you are most welcome to ask questions, or you are also most welcome to add anything to it, to what I am saying. Right?
Hi, sir.
Whenever you have any doubt, you are most welcome to ask.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Sure.
Sir, how insurance is calculated? Suppose I purchase one luxury car whose cost is 10 crores. So how should money I should pay to insurance company?
Okay. See, I was giving the example of a car which is worth 10 lakh. There are cars which are worth 5 lakh also, because cars की 4 लाख से शुरू हो जाती हैं कार, तो 4 lakh. So when you are talking about a car say worth 10 crores or 1 crore, 2 crores, so there has to be a grouping of similar grouping. ये जो लिखा हुआ है ना मेरे सेंटेंस, grouping of a large number of exposure unit, अभी एक और आएगा, large numbers. एक मिनट, this transfer. Anyway, वो बाद में आएगा. Anyway, मैं आपको वैसे एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ. Let me minimize my slide in the time being. देखो what happens के कार का मैं एग्जांपल बाद में बताता हूँ. Let me give you the example of a life insurance. You know that लाइफ इंश्योरेंस का जो कॉस्ट होता है, जो चार्ज होता है, जो प्रीमियम होता है, इट इज बेस्ड ऑन द एज इन द केस ऑफ लाइफ इंश्योरेंस एंड हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस. इन द केस ऑफ लाइफ इंश्योरेंस, फॉर एग्जांपल, अभी जो क्वेश्चन पूछा आपने, अपना नाम दोबारा बताओ.
सर मुंतजीर.
हाँ मुंतजीर, सॉरी. हाँ, अब आपकी आवाज में पहचानने लगा. सो मुंतजीर, यू मे बी से 22 इयर्स ऑफ एज, 22 23 के होगे ना तुम लोग. तो तुम्हारी एज में अगर तुम अपना लाइफ इंश्योरेंस लोगे तो तुम्हारा प्रीमियम इस टाइम पे 10 लाख पे कम आएगा. और मैं ही, एंड इफ आई टेक दैट इंश्योरेंस ऑफ 10 lakh rupees on my age, so it will be more, isn't it? And if a person who is elder to me, he takes the insurance, his premium will be more for the same sum insured. Why it is so?
Sir, then if age will high, there will be more risk to pay something by company.
Yes, exactly. So when the age is more, the risk is also more. So therefore, the more the risk, the more is the premium you have to pay. So that is the basic premise. So accordingly, they have got various pools of age. So जो pooling होती है, एक pool में, जैसे कहते हैं ना in Hindi, in a local language we say, भाई गधों का ग्रुप एक होगा pool, और घोड़ों का गधों और घोड़ों को mix मत करो. So they have to make a pool of similar age groups together. So for 25 years olds will have a same pool, so their risk, तो उनके pool का premium एक होगा. For the people who are 45 years of age, उनका pool different होगा, है ना. So those who are of 55 years. So similarly for other assets also, for a car of 5 lakh rupees, there will be a separate pooling. For a car of 1 crore rupees, there will be a separate pooling, because you cannot mix all those people in the same pool. Because if they mix people of 50 years also in the same pool and 20 years, 25 years people also in the same pool, तो वहां तो रिस्क ज्यादा है ना. जो 50 ईयर 60 ईयर वाले हैं, तो वहां तो डेथ होगी, तो उनकी डेथ होगी, तो उसके हिसाब से वो प्रीमियम कैलकुलेट करते हैं बेस्ड ऑन द क्लेम एक्सपीरियंस. देखो सेम मैंने जैसे आपको एग्जांपल इसीलिए बताया था, वो इन अ पूल ऑफ अ विलेज they said that average is 3 houses we'll have to. So insurance companies is works on the law of probability. When we used to study in school ना, स्कूल कॉलेज में जब हमने मैथमेटिक्स पढ़ा था, और हम 12th में भी शायद probability है, 11th 12th में, and then if you do BSc in mathematics or commerce, so there is law of probability, permutation, combination. So we used to think यार where it finds its application. The law of probability finds its application in insurance companies. So they have to take the, and all, it is all application of statistics. So they take all past 20 years, 10 years data, 20 years data of mortality rates. For example, 22 years में mortality rate क्या होगा डेथ का? अगर आप एक लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कंपनी का एक पूरा मोर्टेलिटी टेबल्स होती है, 5 साल के बच्चे का भी मोर्टेलिटी टेबल है, 6 years, 7 years. So as the age is increasing, the mortality rate is increasing, but it will not increase so much. So if we make a graph like this, so if we make a graph like this, say this is the mortality rate, on x-axis is the, pata nahi, I'm not sure whether it's visible or not.
Not
so
visible.
Not visible, okay. If on the x-axis there is an age, and on the y-axis there is a mortality rate, rate of death. Mortality rate को बोलते हैं rate of death. So as the age increases, the graph, increases.
Yes, yes.
After 40 थोड़ा सा और उसका slope high होगा. 50 के बाद और high होगा. 60 के बाद तो the slope will be very high. 20s में between 22 and 23 थोड़ा सा बढ़ेगा, इतना नहीं बढ़ेगा. 23 to 24 मतलब वो थोड़ा flat ही होगा कर. Slightly slope होगा उसमें. तो डिफरेंट पूल्स आर देयर. तो वो लोग देखते हैं कि 25 इयर्स की एज में मोर्टेलिटी रेट डेथ क्या है, तो हमें कितना क्लेम देना पड़ सकता है. उसको देन दे डिवाइडेड कि हमको अगर एक साल में लेट अस से हमको 5 करोड़ का क्लेम देना पड़ता है, तो 5 करोड़ विल बी डिवाइडेड बाय नंबर ऑफ पीपल. हमारे पास कितने लोगों को हम बेच सकते हैं ये, तो डिवाइडेड बाय, दे विल डिवाइड बाय लेट्स से 10 करोड़ लोगों में बेचेंगे, सो इज इक्वल टू व्हाट, सो दैट बिकम्स द प्रीमियम. तो दिस इज हाउ दे कैलकुलेट द प्रीमियम. उसके ऊपर जैसे आप अपना कोई भी रॉ मटेरियल खरीदते हो, सपोज यू आर इन अ ट्रेडर, तो यू आर परचेजिंग, लेट्स से यू आर परचेजिंग दिस मोबाइल फोन. So this mobile phone is costing you 10,000 rupees. So you will add to it, your transportation cost. You will add to it your administrative cost. You are opening a showroom. You have to pay the rent. You have to pay your salesman's cost, your AC cost, etc. So it will also be spread over the costing. And then you will add your profit margin into it. So this is how the insurance companies, first of all, they calculate the basic premium. Basic premium is calculated by the amount of claims which they are expected to give, divided by the number of people to whom they are expected to sell the plan. So that will give you their basic premium. They add to it the sales commission which they will have to pay to the distributor, their own underwriting cost, administrative cost. So then they calculate the premium. I think I have been able to answer you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. You explained fantastic, sir.
So risk of similar exposure will be pooled in one group. All the people will not be put in the same group. Similarly, all the assets will not be put in the same group. If you are running a chemical factory, so chemical factory will have its own risk. It is having more risk because there could be any inflammation through chemical reactions, etc. If you are running a electronic industry, it will have a lesser risk. So it will have a separate pool. So its risk will be less. So the premium will also be less. Okay. So now we come back to our slide of insurance characteristics.
Sir, hello.
Yes. Yes, please.
Sir, Khitipati.
Sorry.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Sure.
Sir, we study about contract.
Yes.
Right. So when we do online transaction like GST or paying policy, then it's come one page like e-contract, right?
Right.
What is that? It's just a normal contract like, or it's anything
Yes.
Anything new?
No. E-contracts, actually, we will be talking about IT Act also. In IT Act, we will cover all these e-contracts. But the basic rules of the contract also applies to e-contract. It's only the mode of communication is different. As I said earlier, express contracts can be, the mode of communication could be verbal. It could be written on the paper in a hard copy. It could be through email transactions. For example, in case of e-contract, there are certain contracts wherein just by sending simple email will not work. You may have to sign digitally also. For example, you want to, today the government has also allowed digital stamp papers. Let's say 1000 stamp paper, 100 rupees stamp papers are also available digitally. And so you are supposed to sign on it. So there is a provision of digital signatures also. And if you are running a company, we'll be also talking about Companies Act also in this subject. So in Companies Act, it is very essential for every company's directors to have their digital signatures registered. So different e-contracts have got different rules and regulations. For example, when you are purchasing through Flipkart or Amazon, anything, then you need not require these digital signatures. So they are authenticated since you have ordered certain items. So offer and acceptance, capacity to contract, capability of performance also applies to e-contracts also. This is what I have to say.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Only thing is that law has recognized email communications. Law has recognized WhatsApp communication. Only thing is that they have to authenticate कि ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि मेरे ईमेल आईडी से, क्योंकि आजकल हैकिंग भी हो जाती है, उनको सिर्फ ये चेक करना होता है ये मेरे सिस्टम से गई है मेल. अगर मेरा मुकुल जैन का ईमेल आईडी है, वो हो सकता है आपने यूज कर लिया हो, तो सोर्स क्या है उसका ईमेल का, मेरे ईमेल आईडी से है, देन दे विल आल्सो, दे नाउ द टेक्नोलॉजीज and the crime branch, जो पुलिस की क्राइम ब्रांच है, they are also expert in cyber crime, so they have to check कि मेरे ही वेबसाइट से या मेरे ही सोशल हैंडल से ही वो जानी चाहिए. So this has to be proved. So in an e-contract, it has to be proved that it was I who have ordered a certain item or who have offered it, and the person who may have accepted it through email, through a social networking site, should be the authenticated person. This is what they have to verify. ठीक है, तो अभी देखिए 10 मिनट बचे हैं, तो वेरी क्विकली वी विल जस्ट कवर सम ऑफ द थिंग्स फ्रॉम द स्लाइड. तो नंबर 1, एज आई सेड, बेसिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक होना चाहिए पूलिंग ऑफ लॉसेस. पेमेंट ऑफ सडन एंड अनफोर्सिन लॉसेस ही होता है, इट कैन नॉट बी एनी डेलिबरेट लॉस. And a risk transfer mechanism is there because we are transferring our risk to the insurance companies, and it only covers the actual losses. What is pooling of losses? I have explained to you, so it's just written in on the slide. It's the spreading of losses incurred by the few people, and we spread the losses over the entire group, so that in the process average loss is substituted for actual loss, and it involves the grouping of a large number of exposure units. Law of large numbers also applies to insurance, because the greater the number of exposures, the more closely will be the actual results approach the probable results that are expected from an infinite number of exposures. And by combining the loss experience of large numbers, insurer may be able to predict future losses with greater accuracy. हाँ, इसमें देखिए एक statistics का एक rule है. I'll just minimize the slide so that I can just talk to you face to face. See, in statistics, I could have showed you through, if time permits, मैं आपको ना एक statistics का एक book है, उसका scan करके I will show you. Suppose a law of probability says, suppose I have a coin and I toss it. Please tell me head or tail. You say head. So either you will be 100% right or you will be 100% wrong. अगर मैं एक ही बार toss करता हूँ तो 100% या तो probability है आप गलत हो गए. Head, आपने बोला head and it comes out to be head. So you are 100% right. If it comes out to be tail, you are 100% wrong. But if I toss the coin, say 100 times, and you say that head, your one answer is head. So it is not possible that all the 100 times you will be either right or wrong. Do you agree with me? 100 times if I am tossing it, sometimes it will be head, sometimes it will be tail, then your probability of being right or wrong will not be 100%. It may be, say, 60%, 70% you will be correct that it will be heads, 30% you may be wrong, or 70%, 30% you may be right that it may be head. Do you agree with me or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So आपकी probability 50% कब होगी कि आप ये head ही आएगा? अगर if I toss the coin 1000 times, then you will be correct. Your probability of 50% will be correct. That 50% times you will be right, and it will be head, 50% it will be tail. So the more the number of exposure, more number of times you toss the coin, unless and until it is a coin which was held by Amitabh Bachchan in Sholay. In the last, both sides it was head. So he always used to win. Have you seen this movie Sholay?
Yes, sir.
So in the last, Dharmendra came to know that his coin was both the sides it was head. So
Yes.
so unless and until it is a manipulated coin, if the coin is a fair coin, and if you are tossing it 1000 times, so ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. 50% times it will be, the probability will be, you will be, means आप correct हो गए.
Head and tail.
हाँ, तो इसीलिए बोलते हैं इंश्योरेंस इज वर्क्स ऑन द लॉ ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटी. उनकी बस स्टैटिस्टिक्स होनी चाहिए सही, पास्ट डेटा के हिसाब से, और जितने ज्यादा लोगों में वो उसको सेल करेंगे उनकी प्रोबेबिलिटी सही आएगी. हाँ, अगर उनके क्लेम के नंबर्स ज्यादा आते हैं तो अगले साल फिर उसका अपने प्रीमियम को वो रिव्यू करते हैं पिछले साल के क्लेम के एक्सपीरियंस के ऊपर. तो दैट इज व्हाई वी वर सेइंग लॉ ऑफ लार्ज नंबर्स एक्चुअली अप्लाइज ओवर हियर. So the greater that is why we are saying the greater the number of exposure, the more closely will the actual results approach the probable results that are expected from an infinite number of exposures. So by combining the loss experience of large number, insurer may be able to predict future losses with greater accuracy. And if future losses can be predicted, then objective risk is reduced. So that is how, the better is their calculation of premium, the more financially sound will be the company. So payment of fortuitous losses. So we also use the word fortuitous loss. Fortuitous, you will now remember this word. Fortuitous in English means, and in insurance parlance means, which is unforeseen, unexpected, and occurs as a result of chance. So that is random loss, accidental loss. That means it should not be intentional and deliberate. Again, there was a movie in which Amrish Puri was the villain, and Amrish Puri had a factory, so he wanted to kill his opponent in the factory. He said, "You burned my factory," but so his assistant said, "Sir, but in that process, your factory will also be burned. You will incur a loss." So Amrish Puri said that, my factory is already, there is an old plant and machinery, so it is already in a very dilapidated condition. So एक तीर से दो निशाने लग जाएंगे. Our opponent will also be burnt alive, and we will also get a claim for the burnt factory. So such loss he created intentionally and deliberate. If insurance company comes to know that it is the loss caused by the insured himself, then they will not pay the claim. So it is essential that the loss should be intentional and deliberate. It should not be intentional and deliberate. So the opposite of intentional and deliberate is fortuitous. So fortuitous में सब चीज आ जाती है. Unforeseen, unexpected, unanticipated, accidental, random loss, जिसके बारे में आप predict नहीं कर सकते. I hope this word you will not forget now. Fortuitous loss. Right? So you can add this word in your vocabulary. So insurance works on the principle of risk transfer. Risk transfer also we have defined legally that it means a pure risk is transferred from the insured to the insurer, who typically is in a stronger financial position to pay the loss than the insured. Now, insurance is also not paying from its own pocket. It only has to pay from its own pocket when the loss is much more than their calculations. When all of a sudden, there is a huge calamity, there is a huge earthquake, and almost more than 80% of the houses get damaged in a particular town, then yes, insurance company may come under a loss. For example, when it was a 26/11 in America and those twin towers were razed to the ground, so it was a huge loss to the insurance companies at that point of time. It was a huge loss, and some companies also had become bankrupt. So such events may even cause loss to the company. So this transfer is in lieu of the cost known as premium. So the pure risk should fall in the insurable risk category. Now, another word, we will end with this slide then. What is indemnification? Indemnify is a very important word. Indemnification means that the insured is restored to his or her approximate financial position prior to the occurrence of the loss. That is, the insured is not supposed to be in a better financial condition after the loss. And the insured should not be in a position of making a profit after the loss. That is why, if God forbid, if unfortunately my car meets with a small accident, there is some dent in my car, some headlights gets broken, so I lodge a complaint to my insurance company. So the insurance company will ask me to take my car to the workshop. So they will come to the workshop, they will send their surveyor and loss assessor. The person is known as surveyor. So this surveyor will take photograph of my car, will assess the damages. So the damages के चलो भाई headlight repair होगी या change होगी, dent का denting होगी, painting होगी. So he allows a claim of, say, let's say I had an insurance of 6 lakh rupees, but he only passes a claim of 30,000 rupees, or say 20,000 rupees. So 20,000 rupees means that I should get the actual claim only. That is called restored. He has restored me to my approximate financial position prior, before the occurrence of the loss. जिस position में मेरी गाड़ी पहले थी, उसी position में मेरी गाड़ी आ गई. The insured is not supposed, I am not supposed to be in a better financial condition after the loss. If suppose there was a scratch on the left hand side, just a minor scratch, I said, yeah, please give me a full painting of my car. He will not say, no, I will give painting only of the right side, the door which has got dented. My right hand side door has got dented. My left hand side scratch is by wear and tear. That is not a sudden loss. So wear and tear is not covered. So I should not be in a better financial condition, and I should not be able to make a profit. Suppose I have to pay to the repairer only 20,000 rupees, but I ask him, just my right side. So now it is just, so I'm just minimizing it. Let's say my right side headlight was broken, left side red light was correct. It was not broken. But I ask my workshop कि उसको भी change कर दे या replace कर दे with a broken piece. So I get a claim of 50,000 rupees, but in actual I had to pay only 20,000 rupees. So that will be wrong. That will be illegal. So I am in a better financial position. So that is not allowed in insurance things. So we will be talking about all other legal aspects of insurance in the next session. So I hope you have got good insights into this today.
Yes, sir.
So regarding the attendance, as we have, okay, some problem in the connection, I think. Some problem. So regarding attendance, we have decided that I'll take the attendance from Dr. Swapna, and accordingly I'll mark the attendance. And in the meanwhile, yes, very important thing, just last 1 minute. There is a book called Legal Aspects of Insurance. I had sent the syllabus also to you. The author is Akhileshwar Pathak. It is a very good book. And we have also procured an e-version of this book. And yesterday evening, our librarian, Mr. Tiwari, has sent me the e-version link. So I'll be forwarding you that.
Okay, sir.
So for some of the topics, not all the topics which I have included in my syllabus will be there in this book, but at least some of the topics are there in this book. So you can refer to this book. Regarding the other topics, I will suggest you other books, and I will also be sending you my presentations and other material also. So you will not have any problem in studying.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Right. So it was
Thank you,
great
sir.
having you in the session. So we will meet you now next week. So till then, please do good care of yourselves. So namaskar, goodbye, shabba khair, and sat sri akal to all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. You too take care.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day, sir.
Ravi
Okay,
Ranjan.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ravi Ranjan.
So this
Thank you,
weekend
sir.
I'll be sending you some presentations also. So please have a look at that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Okay,
sir. Sure.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ravi Ranjan, you there?
Yes.
Oh, be there. Be there.
So first of all, I'm